It is great to have you with us from the farm. A Monday afternoon matinee from Maples Pavilion between the Stanford Cardinal and the UTSA Roadrunners. Should be a good one between the ACC and the American Athletic Conference. Great to have you with us, Troy Clarity, the Dr. Joaquin Wallace, and you. Thank you for being here with us. Doc, this should be a very intriguing game with a couple of fantastic players to watch, starting with UTSA. Jordan Jenkins has been running the show for the Roadrunners.
Yeah, Jordan Jenkins, I mean, she's one of the best players in the American Athletic Conference. She's averaging 20.5 points per game, but guess what? She's also 6th in rebounds at 8.25. Last time out against Sam Houston, 22 points, 10 rebounds. She is going to be a load for Stanford this afternoon.
15 straight double-digit scoring games for that young lady. Meanwhile, Stanford dropped a tough one, a 20-point loss at Calip and Berkeley on Friday, but a couple of bright spots in Brooke Dimitri and Nunu Aguirre.
Yeah, Brooke Dimitri, the senior, 18 points, 6 rebounds last time out. Let's talk about Nunu Aguirre, the sophomore. She's having a big year. She's seeing the growth, all the work she put in the offseason, 13 points, 8 rebounds, and she's currently leading the team in scoring at 18 points a game.
Both of these squads heading into this game approaching it from slightly different directions. UTSA has won 7 in a row. They dropped their opener at Texas A&M by just 4 points, but have not found their way into the loss column since then. Meanwhile, Stanford dropping back-to-back games. That tough one at LSU against Baton Rouge a couple weeks ago, and then the 20-point loss on Friday up at Cal. So both of these teams trying to get a big win here today. UTSA against Stanford, trying to get a bit of a big boost for the Roadrunners. Meanwhile, Stanford trying to get back in the win column and maybe reestablish some confidence they might have had earlier in the season.
Yeah, we talked about it. Stanford away from Maples, they're 0-3. So this will be an opportunity to get back on the win streak, as you mentioned earlier. They lost the last 2 in a row, but here on the friendly confines, they're 7-0. But this is going to be a formidable matchup because, as you mentioned earlier, UTSA has not lost a game since the opening game against Texas A&M. So Stanford will have their hands full this afternoon.
Here we go from Maples Pavilion. The ball in the air, the tap, scramble for and controlled eventually by the Cardinal. Away we go. Stanford and UTSA. Enjoy the game, everyone. Stanford starting 5 on your screen. Solana Lapolo still unavailable with her injury. Tess Heel now making her 5th straight start at point guard. Denia Harrell drains one from 3 to start it for the Cardinals.
And that's what Stanford does well. They came right out in their split action. Harrell was able to knock down the 3 ball. And the wins story there, 9 threes per game. They had 18 opening up the season, broke their record. So look for him to get untracked early, shooting at their own home gym.
Stanford just under 43% from 3, best in the nation. They do good work underneath as well. Nunu Aguirre denying that one.
Let's see what the guards, Harrell and Heel, will do, because Heel, they transferred coming in. Pre-season at Santa Clara. Now she's making her presence known here on the farm. First turnover of the game.
Held ball. Arrow going in Stanford's direction. A scramble for here. As UTSA ball going in the Roadrunners' direction. Sydney Love in the paint. Working it around. 3 for Jordan Jenkins. Rattles out.
Jordan Jenkins, again, we talked about it. She's leading the American Association Conference. 18 points per game. Look for her to get on track early here this afternoon.
Elena Bosgana had it at the top of the key. Now it's Brooke Dimitri from the corner. Knocks it down. 6-0 Cardinals.
Doesn't surprise you, as mentioned earlier, in their wins. Knocked down 9 threes per game. Shooting at home, they're familiar with the rims.
Roadrunner starting 5 across the bottom of your screen. 2 terrific guards, Sydney Love and Nina De Leon Negro. It's Jenkins who has it now, working in the paint. The scooper, too strong, rebounded by UTSA. And the putback is too strong.
So far, so good for Stanford defensively.
Aguirre, working right block, at close range, misses it.
For Aguirre to get on track early. She can play inside and outside as well. Knocked down 9 threes this season, improving her game, adding tools in the toolbox.
Underneath, Jenkins in for 2.
And that's what they're going to try to do, get her started early. She did her work early, Troy. She loaded up on the right block, was able to finish.
as Maya Linton knocks it out of bounds. UTSA coming into this game after beating Sam Houston 79-36, the largest margin of victory against a D1 opponent for UTSA since 2008. That being said, that game was 9 days ago. They've had a bit of a rest here.
And a long trip out as well, so I start off kind of late, so to speak.
Outside, Aguirre, three, short. Rebound by DeLeon Negron.
Aguirre's not shy taking that shot, as I mentioned earlier. 9 threes on the season, improved her game.
Spin move by DeLeon Negron, runs out of room. Aguirre with the block.
Defensively, you have to be pleased with Stanford so far. Roadrunners have not been able to get on track.
Harrell, outside, Aguirre on the drive. Stanford likes to move the ball around. Don't like to make the ball stick in one spot. Linton clobbers Aguirre.
Stanford running their Princeton-style offense. First time we've seen they ran the split action. Harriel was able to get the three ball. You can see going inside, Aguirre being long, vertical spacer. They would get the shot block and the rebound as well.
Aguirre's put in the work and is making the most of her opportunity. That according to Kate Pay, the head coach. Chloe Clardy comes in, tries a catch and shoot three. It's off to the side. On the drive, it's Love. That was swatted away by Dimitri. A couple blocks early on, Cardinal throwing a block party.
Shows their vertical space with the link down low. Dimitri again, the senior, hands up high.
9th block of the year. A whistle away from the ball. As Linton hit the deck and the foul called on Aguirre.
Although it's early, 14% shooting for the Roadrunners defensively. Stanford has been spot on.
Aguirre comes off. That's Mary Ashley Stevenson, one of 2 undergrad transfers for the Cardinal. Mary Ashley Stevenson from Purdue. On the inbound, Jenkins leaves it short. And the rebound by Chloe Clardy.
Nice inbound play. Baseline out of bound play. She's not able to finish.
Pass whistled to Stevenson. She couldn't handle it.
Yeah, Dimitri didn't wait a tad long with Stevenson to get the nice tic-tac-toe passing for the finish.
And unselfish ball by the Roadrunners to Negron. DeLeon Negron to Udo. 6-4. Stanford scored the first 6 points of the game. Harrell puts Stanford back up by 5. It's 9-4.
They were confused on the ball screen. Didn't come out. Harrell was able to knock down her second one. Miscommunication.
And a pass intercepted up top. Clardy heading towards the right block. Puts it up. It is swatted a bit by Sydney Love. And out of bounds.
Clardy got the live ball turnover, trying to get downhill. Was denied at the rim. But I'm sure that's something the coaching staff, the Roadrunners, will talk about how they're going to handle the split action. And Harriel again was able to get loose, 10 toes behind the line, knocked down her second tray ball in the afternoon.
Jenkins and DeLeon Negron both out. Cheyenne Rowe and Alexis Parker in for the UTSA Roadrunners. And that shot is in for the Cardinal. It's 11-4.
Miscommunication on the baseline out of bound play. Troy, I say if you can make 4 to 6 points on baseline out of bound plays, it's like special teams, a field goal in football.
From the right block, Udo. Now trying it again, it's Rowe who puts it up. Doesn't get it to go, but she's fouled.
Yeah, Rowe did a great job of staying with it, getting the offensive rebound, the second chance opportunity. Take a look here, battling for it. First she misplays it and gets it up. Harriel with the foul on the floor.
Rowe to shoot 2, 6 of 8 from the line so far this season. Coming off an 8-point performance against the Sam Houston State Bearcats. And 4 for 4 from the floor that day. Stevenson, by the way, comes off. Courtney Ogden is in for the Cardinal.
Yeah, Ogden will come in, try to give them instant offense.
Shot good. There's Karen Aston, and look at her resume. In her 4th year and every single season she has been the head coach at UTSA, they have won more games Their program, their trajectory seems to be on the way up. Rowe makes them both. 11-6, Stanford with the lead. Harrell, the drive. Too hard off the glass, but a foul call.
Yeah, Harrell did a great job of turning down the screen from Ogden. Was patient. Straight line drive to the glass. Was fouled on the shot. She had an opportunity for 2 free throws.
Foul called on Udo. Harrell, redshirt junior from Sacramento, came into this game as Stanford's leader in three-point percentage, 48%. Remember that, I'm sure, is up. She's hit a couple already here today. Misses the first free throw here. She's actually an 82% free throw shooter.
If you watch Harrell, she's improved as well. Last season, took the summer, worked with her father, improved her game, and is paying dividends this season.
Makes 1 of 2. Cardinal doubling up the Roadrunners. Linton puts it on the floor. Tries to work around Bozgana. Ball falls to Parker.
You have to love the energy level defensively for Stanford. 2 for 10 from the floor for the Roadrunners.
Parker hemmed in along the baseline, but finds help. 5 to shoot. Pass to Linton. Blocked again. Brooke Dimitri, another one. Her second of the day. Cardinal have numbers. Bozgana off the underside of the backboard and gets called for the offensive foul.
Yeah, Bozgana, she went in hard. With a bit of serve, this kind of pull a .1 jump shot.
Stanford's on top of UTSA, 12-6 in the early go. No team in the country is better at shooting threes as of right now than the Stanford Cardinal. And that trend continuing, 3 early threes for Stanford as they're doubling up the Roadrunners.
Yeah, Harrell did a great job of starting the game in their split action. Now you have her for second tray ball. Now she has 21 threes on the season, and Dimitri has 19 as well. But Stanford does a great job. When they win games, they average 9 threes per game. Today, they're on a great start.
And talking to Kate Pay about what goes into their efficient three-point shooting, she says, look, it's a byproduct of being unselfish and being together, moving the ball around, giving teammates options. Not necessarily just hot shooting, it's what you do off the ball as well. Leon Negron back in the game for UTSA. Jenkins, bounce pass, inside, working, ball on the floor, Rowe loses it.
Stanford did a great job of putting attention on the post players as well. Another turnover, another opportunity to score off the turnover as well.
Roadrunners have made just 1 of their last 7 shots in the corner. Baseline, Ogden, off to the side, Bozgana gets there for the board.
Second chance opportunity for Stanford is huge. Go right back to their Princeton style offense. A little zoom action.
Already drives, dishes, cross court. Ogden for 3. Side of the rim.
That looked good off her hand. Good man movement and ball movement. They was able to change sides of the floor. The baseline trip to skip and the extra pass to Ogden. Straight on shot. It was just long. You have to like the movement. 40% from the floor so far. 3 for 6 from behind the arc. 50%. Defensively, they've been outstanding. 16.7% for the Roadrunners. 2 for 12.
Substitution for the Cardinal. Bozgana out, Aguirre back in. Love finds Udo. And Negron backs up. Thought she might take a shot at it inside the arc. Instead dishes. Udo spins on Dimitri. Shot well short. Out of bounds.
Yeah, Udo going against a longer defender, Dimitri. Was able to get her hands up.
Well, and this was something that Kate Aston was going to keep a big-time eye on for her squad. She said defensively, Stanford is a much bigger squad than we're used to playing, so that'll be a challenge for them.
You can watch it on film, but seeing it live does make a big difference. Roadrunners are 0 for 4, 1 for the last 8.
Outside, Dimitri squares up, back rim. Ogden taps it, but Jordan wins it.
Stanford defensively closing out well, not allowing the Roadrunners to get into their offense.
Step back 3 for DeLeon Negron, and that breaks a long drought for the Roadrunners.
Just as I say that, Negron knocks down one from behind the arc. Is able to line it up.
12-9. Stanford's lead cut to 3. Harrell denied by DeLeon Negron. 10 to shoot. Trying to find a little room. Not much there. Clardy driving. The running left-handed scooper rebounded by Linton.
Probably the best defensive possession for the Road Runners. Did not allow Stanford to get into their offense.
And a travel called Maya Linton on the catch.
Yeah, first suitcase violation on the floor. First travel. Brought her back to the game. Referee said, no, can't bring that there, Troy.
Tess Heel coming back in the game as you look at Karen Aston. And Heel, the junior from Melbourne, Australia, transferred from just up the road, Santa Clara. I'll tell you more about her story, time and action permitting. Dimitri. Harrell around the back. Dimitri, a long 3. Front rim.
Back-to-back defensive stops for the Road Runners. Made some adjustments.
Chance of time for UTSA, but DeLeon Negron goes in for close range and makes it a 1-point game.
UTSA has been able to score consecutive baskets on consecutive defensive stops. He'll turn down. Yeah, he'll turn down a wide 3-point shot for it.
Heel, the spin, altered. Udo got a hand on it. Linton trying to hang on to it. Held ball, and that's going in Stanford's direction.
You can see the defensive intensity has picked up for the Road Runners as Udo is very adamant with the jump ball opportunity on the floor. Possession arrow goes to Stanford.
And DeLeon Negron also being a bit more assertive on the offensive end of the floor for UTSA as well.
Sometimes you just need to get a couple of stops.
Hand off back to Heel. Bounce pass to Garrett. Turns and faces with 2 to shoot. Spin move, puts it up in traffic side rim.
That's 3 consecutive stops for the Road Runners. Defensively, they made the adjustment. Now they feel that they're in the game. Now they have to make some offensive plays. So far, so good.
Stanford has missed his last 7 shots. And an offensive foul called away from the ball on Idara Udo.
Although that's not considered an actual turnover in terms of pass, it is a turnover because it does not allow you to get an opportunity to make an attempt at the basket.
Final minute, first quarter. Udo has to come off. Couple of dribbles, now it's Heel, spinning in the paint, tries to split the defense, hit too strong. Leon Negron stops, assesses, looks at the bench for the sign from Coach Aston. 4-second differential between game clock and shot clock.
Stanford is good on fouls as well, so they can commit 1 foul if they need to. Force them to take the ball out of bounds.
The bump off, replay on, but the pass deflected, taken by Dimitri. Clardy ahead, the step, the scoop, and the score.
Clardy with the Euro step, the live ball turnovers, he was able to convert. Bad possession for Negron and the Road Runners. He had an opportunity for the last shot of the half, but the live ball turnover proved otherwise.
Cardinal had gone cold, but that step over by Clardy, putting Stanford up by 5 at the end of 1. Cardinal up by 3 at the end of 1. UTSA coming into this game winners of 7 in a row. They're looking for their first 8-game win streak in 16 years and their first win over a power conference in 14 years. And Karen Aston isn't surprised at how her squad has started off because she says, we're a more mature squad. But that being said, she also knows that chemistry and challenges will define this squad in the weeks ahead as they get ready for American Athletic Conference play.
Yeah, this would be a great win to go on the road, in particular changing time zones as well. 7 consecutive wins is a lot of wins to get at any level. You know, pace to try to get their 8th. We'll see how they play this afternoon.
Dropped the opener, and they have not lost a game since, but they're down by 3 to Stanford to start the second quarter. Nia Harrell with 7 points. The lead all Stanford scorers, Jordan Jenkins, relatively quiet for her so far in the early going. Then DeLeon Negron, who has taken the mantle for the offense for UTSA and does again here, making it a 1-point game again.
Yeah, she's able to get downhill, score, is able to take the contact, finish.
7 for DeLeon Negron.
So as I mentioned earlier, this will be a formidable matchup because Stanford will play a team with a winning record 7-1. Nice three for Dimitri. That's her second one. 10 toes behind the line.
As Dimitri connects. And Stanford now with 4 3-pointers. Ball on the floor for a moment, but it falls to Jenkins, who tries to go strong. It might have been caught between 2 thoughts. But Brooke Dimitri, big shot Brooke, they call her here on the farm, and this is one reason why.
Yeah, she was able to line it up. Second one from the same spot. Nothing but the bottom of the net.
45% from beyond the arc coming into today. Has 7 straight double-digit scoring games. Clardy on the drive, too strong. Stanford will get another crack at it.
I'm sure Clardy would like to get that back. Straight line drive, was able to get downhill.
DeLeon Negron out, Parker back in.
And she was looking for the contact, and it was not there.
Bozgana, catch and shoot. Off the side of the rim, Aguirre tries to grab it and does, but has a foot on the baseline on the way.
Bozgana trying to get her on track. Her ability, the lefty, the senior, to stretch the defense. But so far, so good. Stanford has been able to handle Jordan Jenkins thus far.
Jenkins just 1 of 5 from the floor. She stays out there. You look at Taylor Ross, the freshman from San Antonio, who is in the game now, facing Cheyenne Rowe.
Look at the little A series. The horns action up top. Got a post up.
Inside to Jenkins. Blocked again. It's been tough sledding.
Yeah, Jenkins is going against longer defenders. As you mentioned earlier, this is one of the longer teams that the Roadrunners have to face this season.
Heel open for 3 off the back rim. Love doesn't have numbers. Tries to break down Heel and does, but misses the layup.
Point blank shot, nice idea.
Ahead to Bozgana. The scooper. That's too strong.
Bozgana tried to do a step through, nice jump stop into her offhand, was not able to complete the deal.
Yeah, good looks on both ends, but nothing falling. Stanford still up by 4. Jenkins open for 3. Back rim, tapped out. UTSA ball.
Yeah, Jenkins is trying to get untracked. She's having difficulties inside because of the length that Stanford possesses. She's only 5 for 16 for behind the arc this season. So if I'm Stanford, I'd rather have her shoot from there versus inside the arc area, where she's 52% from the painted area.
She's the Conference USA Player of the Year and Newcomer of the Year a couple seasons ago to transfer from USC. So she's been in this building before. Foul called on the Cardinal.
Clardy got her hand in the cookie jar there.
Ooh, cookies. I'm hungry.
Me too.
I should have eaten a bigger breakfast. Noon tip-offs are kind of weird for that kind of thing.
Absolutely.
Ross comes off. Rowe comes back in. DeLeon Negron to inbound. Fresh 20 for UTSA. Catch and shoot on the inbound. Too long. But rebounded by DeLeon Negron, but she travels along the way. Jenkins now 1 for 7 from the floor.
And you can see Jenkins, their game is sped up. So she's not taking her time. That's a shot she normally would knock down, but she understands that the length of Stanford is putting her in a box.
And a travel across the way from Bozgana.
Yeah, back-to-back travels.
Well, after the ebbs and the flows of this game, Stanford still just a 4-point lead. UTSA trying to cut into that advantage for the Cardinal here.
So both teams is not showing an ability to score the basketball. Both are shooting under 30%.
That number goes down for UTSA. Another close look off the mark. This one from Jenkins. Harrell puts up a three with a whistle beforehand, and it's called against the Cardinal.
Back-to-back turnovers, travel, and a legal screen as well. Stanford is 0 for their last 4. The Roadrunners 0 for their last 5.
Aguirre has just been called for her second foul. She comes off. Clardy comes off as well. Nyanga Goni coming in. She goes by Nye. She's a redshirt senior from Lincoln, Nebraska, transferred from Mississippi State. Jenkins comes off.
You see how Stanford is able to adapt with Aguirre on the bench. Second foul. She may not see any action to the start of the second half.
Parker driving to the paint. Too strong again. Harrell grabs the board. Jump ball called, and it'll go in Stanford's direction. 17-13 our score. It's been closely played throughout most of it. Another look here. Jump ball. Harrell fights for it and eventually ends up winning it.
So I don't know if you can call it great defense or just bad offense for both teams.
A little of both, maybe. With all the close looks being missed, part of me skews more towards the defense, perhaps. Stevenson runs into a double team. They'll reach in to tie up, and it's going to go in UTSA's direction. Smart move by Maya Linton.
That's a great job by Linton. They're doubling on the bounce. As Stevenson turned over a right shoulder, you can see here. She's going to turn over a right shoulder right there, and there is the double team. Great job, great coaching, great scouting.
Well handled. Stevenson, the Big Ten freshman of the year last year. Doesn't win that battle. Delay on Negron for three. Side rim. Falling towards the corner. And a whistle. Called on UTSA away from the ball. It's on Rowe.
So I understand it's a morning game or an afternoon game. Both teams haven't woke up offensively.
After Stanford hit a couple of early threes, it's been kind of quiet since then. Skyler can certainly get it going. So can Heel. High, arcing three ball goes through. Heel makes it rain and gives Stanford its biggest lead of the game.
So interesting, 3 of their threes are coming from the left corner pocket. 2 by Dimitri, 1 by Heel, and the other 2 has been at the top of the key.
20-13. Parker in the corner. Goni turns, faces, guarded by Dimitri. Spin, pivot. Lozgana breaks it up and takes it away. Cardinal off and running. Harrell for three. Got it! Back-to-back big threes for the Cardinals.
And Harrell with her second 3 on the advanced pass by Teal. Get out and run early. There's the 3 ball by Hill, the left corner pocket. That was her first 3, the third from that corner. Here's the advanced pass we spoke about. Harrell said, guess what? I'm going to line it up 10 toes behind the line. I'm going to knock it down for my third 3 of the afternoon.
10 points for that young lady wearing the mask in the middle of your screen, Janiah Harrell, who broke her nose during the preseason, wore the mask early on. She could probably take it off if she wants to, but apparently it's become an extension of her now, so she's keeping the mask on.
Yeah, actually, I asked her that question the first game against Lemoyne. I asked her if she's superstitious because I would not take the mask off, and she was on fire at that point. And guess what, Troy? She has not taken it off yet.
It's worked. 10 points, Stanford up by 10. And even though it's a Monday matinee here at Maples, energy is high here at this game. More on that for a moment, but while the Cardinal are getting it done from threes as they're 6 of 13, they've also been throwing a bit of a block party for the UTSA Roadrunners as well. 3 block shots already for Stanford, making it tough underneath for the Roadrunners.
We talked about it. The Roadrunners may have not played a team with this type of length inside, vertical spacers. That changes how you run your offense because you're not used to that size and length. Something that they're going to have to adjust to in the second half.
Dimitri officially with 2 blocks. Lozgana officially with 1 block as well. Look at Nunu Aguirre. And Kate Pay talking to her, she says, obviously acknowledging that Stanford loses players for one reason or another. Kiki Uriafen transferring to USC. Of course, Hannah Jump, Cameron Brink. Eligibility's expired. Cameron Brink, of course, going to the WNBA. She said, look, Here's how it works at Stanford. All Americans come here and they move on. That means opportunities for plenty of other players. And she singled out Nunu as a young lady who has put in the work and made the most of her opportunity. And she also noted that Nunu has experienced a huge gain in her confidence level, in particular between the two early road games that Stanford had. Between Indiana, that road game unfortunately lost for Stanford out there, but then they also have the road game at LSU, which also unfortunately for Stanford ended up being a loss. But Pepe noticed a huge confidence gain in Nunu between those two games.
Well, it starts in the offseason because your freshman year to your sophomore season, that's where you're going to make your biggest jump. And you've seen that, the work she's put in. She's added games. She's added more tools in her toolbox, as you mentioned earlier. Last season, she only averaged 13 minutes a game. Now she's one of the better players on the team, leading the team in scoring 18 points. She was behind two outstanding players. You mentioned one transferred to USC, the other was graduated, was the #1 pick in the WNBA as well. So she was following those two players, but now she has a chance to lead the team, and she's doing an excellent job so far.
Back to action with the Cardinal ahead by 10. They're on a 9-0 run. Roadrunners have missed their last 7 from the floor. Love. Around the back. Out to Ross, who's back in for UTSA. Leon Negron driving. That's been the Roadrunners' best play all afternoon.
Negron did a great job. They were in a single-side screen action. She had the roller as well, but she goes to her offhand. Was able to get downhill and kissed it off the window for the bucket.
Give her 9 points so far in the afternoon. Underneath, Stevenson, double. Serves up a pass towards Bozgana, but knocked out of bounds off UTSA.
Defensively, they're doing a great job of doubling on the bounce on the post players and rotating out.
Stevenson out, Ogden back in. Ogden, a sophomore from Atlanta. 16.5 rebound performance against UC Davis.
So Ogden has the ability to play inside and out as well. She can stretch the floor from behind the arc.
Offensive foul called. Bozgana on the drive.
Yeah, Bozgana with the pass and crash. Easy call for the official. Great job of getting the feet outside the smiley face. Get the offensive foul.
Her second of the day. That brings back in Chloe Clardy. No relation. The sophomore from Conway, Arkansas. Love. Guarded by Heel. Ross. Leon Negron with 9 points already. Directing the traffic. 5 to shoot. Ross, straightaway 3. Gets it to go. Roadrunners make it a 5-point game. Just the second three-pointer of the year for Ross. He's 2 for 3 now in that category.
The Ross is wide open. Understand the scouting report. You're going to give her that shot, force her to make it. She did.
Foul called as Ogden tried to take it to the hoop.
Take a look here. Setting it up at a point where she's wide open.
Second personal number 20, Maya Linton.
Ross against Sam Houston had 5 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 blocks, all in just 6 minutes worth of work. How's that for efficiency? Foul was called on Linton, with Ogden going to the line. 4 of 4 on free throws entering this game. Rattles out. First miss of the season. Ogden Pac-12 all-freshman honorable mention last year. Second free throw. Good.
Yeah, Ogden has the ability to put the ball in the basket in his sophomore season.
That three-pointer short from Love. Terrific board by Dimitri. Cardinal off and running in the other direction. Hardy crossover. Heel in the corner. After him, grabbed by DeLeon Negron. Doesn't have numbers. And Hardy says, give me that.
And you are absolutely correct. Negron didn't have numbers, took it into the teeth of the defense, would have been better served to pull it out and run the secondary offense.
Looks like she kind of may have come to that realization a bit too late as Ogden tries for 3. Rattles out.
Wide open shot on the split action. I'm sure that's something they're going to talk about at halftime, how they want to defend that action.
Love misses the layup. Love's 0 for 4 from the floor today. Hardy waits. Allows Ogden to clear out. Gets it to Heel. Up top to Harrell. Already hit some big three-pointers so far today. Dimitri turns, fires, in and out.
Nice shot by Dimitri right at the pinch post area. Nice look, it just rimmed out.
Stanford up 6. Scooper from DeLeon Negron, short.
And you can see how the length affected that. Negron seeing the help coming over and scooped it up a little bit too early versus going in, getting a better shot to the rim.
It's been a big problem for UTSA all afternoon so far. Terrific pass underneath the reverse scooper to Courtney Ogden, and Stanford's clicking on all cylinders.
So they ran the split action off the corner. Ogden was going back door. It was a nice pass, lead pass by Dimitri. Finished on the second side of the rim.
Up top, Jenkins, open lane to the hoop. He gets it, count it, and one.
Nice athleticism by Jenkins. She double pumped, took the contact as well. But here is the back door right here. Second side by Ogden, was able to finish. Dimitri did a great job. But here is Jenkins going inside, double clutch. Ogden came over late on the help. Opportunity for the old-fashioned three-point play.
Ogden 83% from the line so far this season. Spent most of last season recovering from an off-season injury. Transferred from USC a couple of years ago. Scored 20 points, 7 rebounds against Stanford down in LA, Feb 6, 2022. 5-point game now for the Cardinals. Harrell from the free throw line, no. Tracked down by Rowe in the corner.
I'll tell you what, as poorly as the Road Runners have played this first half, they're still in the game.
Rowe puts it on the floor, puts it up just inside the paint, knocks it down. It's a three-point game.
That's a nice job by Cheyenne Rowe. Understood the assignment. Didn't want to really deal with the vertical spacers down low. A short jumper right in front of the rim, was able to knock it down.
Our first look at Shea Ijewoye, who is in the game, the freshman from Phoenix. There's Dimitri who has it now. Tries to bank it off the glass, and Ijewoye tries for the board, can't get it. Final minute, second quarter. Love stops, pops, and it drops. And it's a one-point game now.
The Road Runners, when they're scoring, it's basically in transition. It's not allowing the Cardinal to set up their defense. They can get out and run. They have a better opportunity of scoring, so they have to deal with the defense inside 47 feet.
7-0 run for the Road Runners. 4 to shoot. Outside, Ijewoye. Baseline, in traffic, travel.
Ijewoye did a great job of slashing to the front of the glass. Took too many steps. Interesting enough, the Road Runners, Troy, have a chance to go into half with the lead.
Sure do. Emma Lucio in the game. UTSA replacing Cheyenne Rowe. Lucio, a sophomore from Edinburgh, Texas. 4 of 9 from beyond the arc.
The Road Runners on a 7-0 run in the last minute 29. Defensively, they've been outstanding.
5 to shoot. Love, driving, way too strong. Ijewoye holds, and we go to the break. Stanford has held the lead for the entirety of it, but right now it's a slender 1-point advantage for the Cardinal, 26-25, as we go to the break here at Maples Pavilion. Been entertaining so far. Threes early on for Stanford, but DeLeon Negron driving for UTSA. But Stanford with a 1-point lead here at Maples at the half. Halfway through here at Maples Pavilion, Stanford had a 10-point lead with 5.5 minutes to go in the second quarter, whittled down to just a 1-point lead as we begin here in the second half at Maples Pavilion. Troy Clarity and Joaquin Wallace here. For as many things that seem to go wrong for UTSA at some points, it's still just a 1-point game and a 1-point advantage for the Stanford Cardinal. The numbers, I think, kind of bear some things out as far as how this game has gone. Look at the one at the bottom number, the block. Stanford 5, UTSA 3. It's been tough for UTSA underneath.
Yeah, we talked about the vertical spacers down low for Stanford is giving the road runners problems, but despite all of that, they're only down by 1.
Yep.
They had an end of the half, great 7-0 run to end the half, and they had an opportunity to finish the half with the lead, the first lead of the game for the road runners. So if I am the head coach for UTSA, I'm pleased on how we're playing so far. Offensively, both teams are struggling, 30% shooting from the floor. But again, we have a whole half of basketball remaining.
Of course, one of the big subplots of this game is defending the perimeter, especially for UTSA. Doc, how do you think some things have gone in that respect so far for UTSA?
Well, they struggle because of the Princeton-style offense that Stanford runs, the split action. They have not been able to identify and solve that. Here it is right here. There's a Guerra catching it right at the pinch post, but here is the split action. You see that the Warriors run this a lot. Right here, Harriel, there's confusion there. That was the first 3 of the game. She was able to knock that shot down. They come right back to the action again. Here's the screen roll, confusion. Don't know who's going to go out and guard. The bottoms just come out and hedge hard. No, there's confusion there. Harriel said, you know what? If you're not going to guard me, I'm going to knock down the 3-ball here as well. But this shot is always open in the Princeton set. This diagonal pass as the defense gives concentration, all eyes on Aguera. She's able to find Dimitri for the long ball, 10 toes behind the line, her first 3 of the game, and that's where the struggles have been for the road runners this afternoon.
Well, and it's part and parcel of what Stanford has been able to do to shoot the ball so well from beyond the arc. Good ball movement, terrific decision-making, and efficiency from beyond the arc. Those have been some of the things that have gone into Stanford in their terrific performance from three-point land.
Well, we talked about Stanford on their wins. They average 9 threes per game, so they're already at 6. And their losses, 6 threes. But those losses, guess what, have been on the road, not here in the friendly confines. They shoot much better at home, but UTSA say, listen, we're going to try to get this win. We've won 7 in a row. We're not intimidated of coming west to try to get this win. They're playing outstanding considering both of the teams are not offensively showing you what they can do. They're down by 1, 31% from the floor shooting for UTSA, 30% for Stanford. So if they can solve how to handle that split action, get out and run, because they're more effective in transition versus playing their offense in 47 feet, allowing Stanford's length to bother them inside.
Stanford led in the scoring category by Janiyah Harrell with 10 points. Brooke Dimitri not far behind with 8 as you look at the brain trust there for the coaching staff. Kate Pay, of course, on the left side of your screen in her first year as the head coach of the Stanford Cardinals. Born at Stanford Hospital, played at Stanford. She was on the 92 National Championship squad, holds bachelor's, Juris Doctorate, and MBA degrees from Stanford University. But she's not the only coach on the Maples Pavilion bench with Stanford ties. You have to go to the other side for UTSA. That's Jamie Carey, the associate head coach for the Roadrunners. She started her collegiate career right here at Stanford, was Pac-10 Freshman of the Year at Stanford in 2000, but then ankle injuries and concussions derailed her career here. She actually retired from the sport for 2 years, but then she returned and transferred to Texas, 2-time first team All Big 12 by the time her career was said and done. One of her assistant coaches during Jamie's playing career at Texas was Karen Aston. And of course, those two now on staff together here at UTSA. Roadrunners have won 7 in a row. Stanford trying to avoid its first 3-game losing streak since January of 2001. Stanford led by 10 midway through the second quarter. Now it's just a 26-25 advantage. Karen Aston trying to solve the puzzle. Roadrunners trying for what would be a big win for its program. Janiyah Harrell had 15 points at LSU a couple weeks ago, trying to keep pacing the Cardinal attack. That's only the half of it. Off we go. Bozgana. Guerra has 2 fouls, turning and facing and finding Bozgana. Long-range shot off the back of the rim.
So they start off with the same split action again. Bozgana was wide open, so the adjustment was not made. Remember, Troy, they came out and scored on that same play with Harrio knocking down the first 3 of the game.
Jenkins quiet overall. 5 points, 2 for 10 from the floor in the first half. Outside, puts it up just inside the arc. Rebound grab by Bozgana. Udo off the mark.
Udo with the pick and pop.
Harrell finds Heel. Bounce pass to Aguirre. Turns and faces. Puts up the jumper. Side rim. Udo grabs the board.
They will need Aguirre to get on track. And she got that second foul. Was saddled the rest of the half.
Love weaves through. Rebound. Jenkins puts it up. Count it. And one.
And that's what she does. She scores around the rim. 14 points total inside the painted area. Make that 16. She has an opportunity for the old-fashioned 3. Again, to beat Stanford, you got to beat them in transition. Do not allow them to set their defense. Nice job of getting the second chance opportunity for the finish.
UTSA in the lead for the first time this afternoon. Now they're up by 2. 28-26.
And I'm sure they're pleased so far.
In the corner, Dimitri lines it up and knocks it down.
So Dimitri from the left side is her third 3.
Stanford 7 3-pointers overall tonight. Shot denied. Jenkins gets it back. Altered by Aguirre. Tries to hang on to it and does.
Aguirre did a great job with the vertical spacer down low with the block.
Underneath, Aguirre got it. And one.
And that's what she does well, Troy. She blocked the shot and got her work in early, rim to rim. They found her under the basket. Here it is for the old-fashioned 3-point play. Hill did a great job with her chin up. Aguirre runs the floor. She started it with the block. Went rim to rim.
There are 29 points, 13 boards at LSU, both career highs back on December 5th. Knocks down the free throw. Foul was called, by the way, on Linton. That's her third.
Definitely missed her presence on the floor. That's 18 points a game that was on the bench after a second foul in the second quarter.
Leon Negron drives. We saw plenty of that throughout much of the first half. Doesn't convert this one, but will go to the foul line.
Negron has been able to get downhill. Bro got her do-it-yourself kit on that one. Now she has the opportunity for 2 free throws. 9 points so far.
Leon Negron, the grad transfer from San Juan, Puerto Rico. Came to UTSA from Incarnate Word. This is the first. She is now 8 of 12 from the free throw line. She grew up in Puerto Rico, played on the Puerto Rican under-17 national team, and was able to play in front of her family when UTSA went down to the Puerto Rico Classico a couple weeks ago. And she missed them both here.
Yeah, so when you miss free throws, that's like turnovers, although it don't show up in the stats.
Hill spins and puts it up in traffic. Stanford up by 6.
Stanford ran a little double stagger screen action at the top. Hill was able to get downhill and convert.
Cardinals have been able to answer after the Roadrunners took their first lead of the game. Love the reverse scooper. Ito grabs it and can't make the return shot.
So both players, second side opportunities to finish. The first one was missed. Ito gets the rebound. She had opportunity as well. You see, there's the first second chance opportunity on the reverse. Now Ito has a chance, and she was not able to convert.
Back to action as Jenkins misses again from close in. Udo with another shot with the ball out of bounds. Jordan Jenkins 3 for 13 from the floor. Negron inbounding. Tapped away on the floor. Heel comes crashing to the deck. Foul by Love.
Yeah, Hill winning the 50-50 ball, was able to get the foul on the floor. Stanford, 6-point lead.
Tess Hill now started 6 consecutive games. Talana Napoleon still on the mend. Aguera with the jab. Hands to Harrell. Bounce pass to Aguera. Can't convert. Fighting for it. And jump ball called. It's going UTSA's direction.
I love the action. Single side action, screen and roll with Aguera. He's not able to complete the deal with a right hand. Trying to bank it off the glass. Nice idea.
Second personal
Foul on Dimitri. That's her second.
Third team foul.
There's Brooke. And Negron bringing it across.
Stanford on the 8-0 run, last minute 36.
The drive by Love somehow gets it to go. And she'll go to the line.
The Love refused the screen. Straight line drive, was able to take the contact inside. We call this the sneaky hand right here. Goes right inside with the sneaky hand. Right hand did not use the left, goes inside. Right there you can see the contact. Dimitri with the foul, was late getting over for the help.
That's her third. She has to come off. Take a seat. Mary Ashley Stevenson into the game. With Love going to the line. Now 75% from the foul line. Team leader in assists coming into this game. Love, the junior from Tupelo, Texas, just outside of San Antonio. But the free throw rattles out. 4-point game, 34-30. Stanford on top.
On the road, you have to be able to convert those free throws.
Yep.
3 consecutive free throws missed.
Heel, short. Udo has been a presence on the board so far here in the second half. Leon Negron tries to split the trees, but finds Bozgana instead.
Understanding the assignment, you have to score in transition. Do not allow Stanford to set their defense. Nice job by the roll runners to get back, take away the initial offense, get to their secondary, results in a foul.
And it's called on Linton, I believe. And if so, and it is, that's her fourth. She has to come off.
Stanford with 6 blocks so far this afternoon. We talked about the length, giving the roll runners problems in the painted area. That coupled with missed free throws does not bode well for a team that's on the road shooting 57%, 4 for 7 from the free throw line.
Hammond's in the game for UTSA. Same hometown in high school as Sydney Love. A couple years apart. Hammond's a freshman. Love is a junior.
So now they plan Aguera out. Her and Stevenson switched to the pinch post area.
He's gone on the floor with 5 to shoot. The runner misses right.
Bozgana trying to get downhill.
Inside, Udo, but travels. Boy, that was a mismatch there. Udo versus Clardy, and UTSA can't take advantage of it.
Yeah, you talking about a mouse in the house. I call that the Tom and Jerry effect right there. Had an opportunity to get inside. Udo didn't recognize she had a smaller person over. Only thing she needed to do is go over a left shoulder for a jump hook.
Tom and Jerry being mentioned during the game involving the Road Runners. How about that?
Yeah, be creative. Mouse in the house.
Arrow up and down, but a held ball on the way up, and it's going to go in the Roadrunners' direction. Well, Stanford has had chances to get separation, but just haven't quite been able to find the knockout punch just yet. UTSA hanging around. Within 4 right now. Jenkins off to the side. Bozgana grabs the board.
Jenkins needs to be more diversified in her scoring.
Aguera finds Bozgana underneath. And a foul called on UTSA.
Now, Aguera had all eyes on her. The defenders was loading up on her, and Bozgana did a great job of cutting baseline, the second side to a strong hand, The opportunity for free throws.
Well, and terrific vision by Aguirre, who, oh, by the way, leads the team in assists coming into today. Foul on Hammonds. Boscana's first free throw is through. Boscana 87% from the line entering today. The senior from Athens, Greece. She was actually Tara Vanderveer's first commit from Europe to play for Stanford. Committed to Cardinal, sight unseen. On the bomb with Tara and Kate Pay over Zoom. This was back during those days when we did everything during Zoom. Boscana, a key member of the squad as Stevenson comes out.
I would say that turned out extremely profitable, paid dividends for the Cardinals.
36-30. 5 minutes to go, third quarter. Swiped away. Aguirre ends up with it.
Confusing offensively. Love got inside the trees and didn't know what really to do with the basketball. There was no movement by our teammates.
Road runners do well in the desert. In forests, maybe not so much. Clardy. To Aguirre. Cross court broken up, but falls to Boscana anyway. 8 to shoot. And a travel by Boscana, her second. And a timeout on the floor. And Stanford maintaining a 6-point lead as we have 4:31 to go in the third quarter. Cardinal trying to stay in the win column. You are watching history, as this is the first ever meeting between Stanford and UTSA. Now, of note, this is the 6th all-time game that Stanford has played against an American Athletic Conference team, but Stanford just 1-4. Keep in mind, UConn a big part of that. When the Huskies were in the American Conference from 2013 to 2017, Stanford dropped 3 of 4 against the Huskies during that stretch, but that one win stopped UConn's 47-game win streak back in November of 2014. Right now it's the Cardinal and the Roadrunners meeting for the very first time here today. UTSA has won 7 straight. Stanford's dropped 2 in a row. He gets a big win here this afternoon. Right now it's Stanford ahead by 6. Head towards the latter portion of the third quarter. Rayon Negron looking for options. Back straight away with 5 to shoot. Gets a little room. Puts up the 3. Rattles out. Rebound by Boscana.
Nice stop for Stanford coming out of the timeout.
And a good look for the Negron. Meanwhile, at the other end, pinpoint pass from Chloe Clardy finds Boscana for the run.
Clardy did a great job keeping her chin up, leading her teammate to the basket. Offhand layup of Boscana. Was able to finish.
Jostling underneath between Courtney Ogden and Jordan Jenkins. Another look at that last pass.
There it is. Great pass. Inside. Finished with a right hand. Led her right to the basket.
Ogden called for her second foul. Hammonds comes off. And Emma Lucio comes back in. Jordan Jenkins back in the mix. Karen Austin told me that, look, Jordan, with the season and with her capabilities, she could have gone anywhere, but she decided to stay here with us at UTSA. She transferred to UTSA after the 2022 season. Karen Austin says Jordan stayed with us because she believes in what we are doing here in this program. It's paid off in a big way.
Yes, 7-1. Second consecutive victories have showed that as well. Boscana again getting back door. Nice lead pass off the dribble. Stanford has found something as UTSA, what they're doing, they're playing up the line defense.
Well, and we've seen moments where Stanford has had terrific ball movement and pinpoint passing along the way as well. Now they're going to the line with Rowe replacing Udo for UTSA.
Yeah, anytime you get a defender playing up the line defense within this offense that Stanford runs, it's automatic read. You go back door off the dribble. So the ball handler passes off the hand, leading her teammate to the basket.
Ghana makes 1 of 2. 7-point lead for Stanford. Hand to Love. He puts up a long three-pointer, a bit too long, and the rebound swiped away by Boscana.
This is where Stanford is at their best. Transition.
And Harrell for three, short. Tries to get it back to Leon Negron, beats her to the ball. Leon Negron, foul called on Stanford.
Yeah, Negron decided to keep it herself. She had teammates both to the left and right, but decided to go to the layup herself. With the free throw line, this is where they struggled. 67% from the free throw line. Oftentimes, the free throw line can be your best defender, your sixth defender on the floor. See how it turns out.
That one came perilously close to being another missed free throw, but it fell through. Third foul on Ogden. And Negron's second free throw off the mark. Whirls out. 39-33.
Again, when you're on the road, Troy, you have to take advantage of the free throw line.
Out to Clardy. Foul called. It'll be on Lucio.
That wasn't the ideal spacing on the floor for Stanford whatsoever. As Aguero was able to get it at the pinch post, her sweet spot, and Boscana came right across the top, anticipating the pass. Disjointed offensive possession, but you have an opportunity for free throws.
Clardy, 74% free throw shooter. Swishes first. Stanford's first ever player from the state of Arkansas. Known for her defensive prowess, and started to develop other facets of her game along the way as well. Stanford up by 8.
As you mentioned earlier, Stanford has yet to get untracked offensively, to gain some distance between this road-runner team. Maybe this is the quarter.
And that back foot by Parker moved just a bit too much.
She came to a jump stop. As you mentioned, she dragged the foot. Easy call from the official for the travel.
Cardinal a chance to match or set its biggest lead of the game so far. They're up by 10 with 5.5 to go in the second quarter. Sierra turns and faces. On the floor. In traffic, off the rim. Boscana off the board, gets it, and will go to the line and shoot one.
Second chance opportunity. It started with Aguera. The rip through, drives to the basket, comes to a jump stop, took the contact. Here it is right there. There's the contact. Boscana following right behind. The opportunity to get back to the free throw line.
Chest falls off the front of the rim. Remains a 10-point game.
So the Roadrunners offensively have started this third quarter how they started the first quarter, shooting only 14%, 2 for 14. There's a turnover as well.
Tough day for Jordan Jenkins continues as Boscana takes advantage. And now Stanford's up by 12.
Live ball turnovers, yields, layups. Defensively outstanding on the perimeters.
Rowe, outside to Leon Negron. Working, Jenkins, too hard. Hits the deck for her trouble.
And Ogden doing a great job defensively. Stanford has an advantage.
Ogden in open lane, and she knocks it down.
Straight line drive, nice job by Aguera, finding Ogden to get the layup. There has to be a timeout on the floor.
Timeout called, UTSA. Stanford threatening to run away with this one.
There's the steal by Boscana with the finish. Second layup this quarter.
Brooke Dimitri came into this game with 7 straight double-digit scoring performances. Make it 8. She is 11 this afternoon.
Yeah, she's playing well. 11 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, leading this charge by the Cardinal. But again, she's been solid from the left corner. 3 threes, Troy, all from the left corner. So 10 toes behind the line for the senior.
From Foothill Ranch, California, Mater Dei High School, was the Gatorade Player of the Year for the state of California in 2021. During her senior year in the section semifinals, she helped bottle up a Harvard Westlake big-time player named Kiki Iriafen. Kiki, of course, a former Stanford teammate here, now down at USC. But Dimitri with a couple of big-time shots to help Stanford beat Iowa State in one of the great games played here at Maples Pavilion in the second round of the NCAA tournament last year. Has taken much more of a leadership role this year. Kate Pay at the bottom right of your screen, the head coach, says that Brooke is an incredible and steady leader. You need folks like that on your squad.
And I'm sure Dimitri told Iriafen that she locked her up as well, right? I mean, that's something else they talked about for at least 2-3 years anyway, right? Listen, you have a player like Dimitri. She has the experience. You mentioned the game in the NCAAs last year. She was huge. She's coming out tonight showing her experience, and her DNA is all over this game today. We mentioned 11 points, but it's her and her teammates as well. They're shooting the ball much better at this point. Defensively, they've been outstanding, getting out in transition, and it's starting to wear down the Roadrunners.
Meanwhile, as we just took a look at the UTSA bench there, if you're the Roadrunners, what are some things you can do to prevent this game from perhaps spinning wildly out of control?
Well, they're 13% shooting in this quarter. That's how they started the game as well. A lot of turnovers. So they have to make baskets, force Stanford to take the ball out of bounds. If not, they're getting out in transition and scoring. So if they can force Stanford to take the ball out of bounds, meaning they have to make shots, if they can do that, they can walk themselves back in this game. Still another quarter remaining. They're still in the game, although down by 14. Great opportunity for them.
UTSA just 1 of 12 from the floor. They have not hit a field goal in over 5.5 minutes of ball. Spirited crowd here at Maples Pavilion. Skewing on the younger side. We'll tell you why a bit later on in the show. So we're back to action. Leon Negron in the paint. Puts it up off the glass and down.
And she has been a bright spot for the Roadrunners.
12 points for that young lady. Terrific pass, the catch by Bosgana, but runs into a Roadrunner underneath the hoop.
Yeah, that could have went either way. The official didn't call the foul, just let it play on. You see right here, Bosgana again. Nice pass from the pinch post area. That could have been a foul on Bosgana, but they let it play through. Stanford has a chance now, the baseline out of bounds play.
7 seconds to go in the third quarter. Merrill doesn't have the catch and shoot. Offensive foul away from the ball.
So they ran action to get Bosgana to come off the screen. The delayed action, but the moving screen, the illegal screen by Ogden.
That's 4 on her. She has to come off. Replaced by Mary Ashley Stevenson. Pace says that Mary Ashley pops up in the right place at the right time. That's a good characteristic to have on the basketball court.
Experience, played in the Big Ten, understands big-time action.
Big Ten freshman of the year. Leon Negron, straight away 3. Rattles out. A 3-second differential between game clock and shot clock.
Bosgana, that's her 9th rebound. She's working on a double-double.
Lucio guarding Clardy, 10 to shoot. Gara on the floor, to the hoop, in traffic, side rim, rebounded by UTSA. Leon Negron on the other side of the timeline, stops, puts it up and short. And the third quarter comes to a close. Stanford up by 1 at the half, up by 12 after 3. A bit of separation between Stanford and UTSA. Can the Cardinal close it out, or can UTSA make a flurry? Find out fourth quarter straight ahead on ACC Network Extra. Aston says that her UTSA program is in a very good place from a culture and a support standpoint, and this is one reason why. They are going to be breaking ground on a new training facility this week on Wednesday. A lot of room for the student athletes to do whatever they need to do for both basketball and volleyball. A couple of NCAA practice courts, full-sized hydrotherapy space, meeting rooms, UTSA, a program on the way up, and when you see things like that, that's a big indicator why. Start of the fourth quarter here, Stanford with a 12-point lead. Troy Clarity, Joaquin Wallace here with you, and Elena Buscana getting the Cardinal off on the right foot in the fourth.
Yeah, they start the same action again, the split action. They have not been able to solve that riddle tonight. Buscana was able to knock it down.
From the left elbow, and that rolls home from Emma Lucio.
Emma Lucio.
Whoops. Hardy and Buscana not quite on the same page.
Buscana was going back door as her defender was denying high. Hardy was thinking something otherwise.
Buscana goes for the steal, but Linton with 4 fouls hangs on to it. Buscana hangs in there. The ball bumped back. They were able to win it back for UTSA.
Deflections is just as good as steals.
Udo wasn't ready for that one, but Jenkins is able to clean it up. Jenkins just 12 points.
Jenkins clean up on aisle 2, but Guerra again doing her work early, scoring around the rim.
That puts Stanford back up by 12. And some turns and faces. Down to Lucio. Crossover. Love. Oh, finding a bit of room and knocking it down.
Nice job by Love.
Sydney Love.
Take the down screen so we get to her spot.
In the corner, open for 3. Too long.
We talked about that's the shot that's open. The corner 3 from the pinch post.
There's Lucio for 3, misses left. Buscana grabs the board. She is well in double territory now. Grabs it back. Guerra has 5 points. And the bump from UTSA.
Yeah,
That's on Linton, that's her 5th.
Yeah, Linton tried to get over the screen.
5th personal, number 20.
Foul on the floor, side out of bounds.
Linton heads to the bench. 0 for 3 from the floor with 3 rebounds, a couple of steals. Her afternoon is done.
Yeah, Ogden is well back in with 4 fouls. She has to be careful.
Dimitri open for 3 from long range, back rim. Leon Negron. In the corner, Parker off the side.
Nice look by Love for the corner 3.
Already waiting, finds Heel. Guerra spins outside. Dimitri doesn't have a 3. Heel does, got it. Tess Heel puts the card up by 13.
Now Guerra originally had Ogden slashing to the rim, missed her, but got the heel. He was able to knock it down from distance.
Rowe goes up with it and goes foul. Gets fouled along the way up.
See, here it is, right there. There's a one pass away, Heel with the 3 ball. But originally, when Guerra first got it, when she received it, Ogden was right in front of the rim, but decided to skip it out with a second extra pass, and Heel was able to knock it down.
Heel played just 2 years at Santa Clara, but left that program as its 11th all-time leading scorer. Putting a lot of work to get her 2 years down the road to Santa Clara. Rowe misses the first free throw. Takes the second. Loud crowd here today at Maples. It's field trip day. So we've got a lot of youngsters from all sorts of school districts here in the local area. 1,700 school kids in the building. Good way to spend a Monday afternoon. The pressure shown by UTSA for the first time this afternoon.
They showed a 1-2-2 half-court trap just to slow down the offense, take some time off the clock.
5 to shoot. Aguirre puts it up and knocks it down.
Aguirre broke out a do-it-yourself kit there. Shot clock running down. Was able to knock it down from the pinch post area.
Towards the baseline. Tight roping. Finding Hammonds, eventually worked around to delay on Negron. Bounce pass broken up. Foul, I believe, on Dimitri.
Originally, Love had Jenkins wide open, missed her on the ball side, but it could have been an easy layup.
Dimitri comes off. That's her 4th foul, replaced by Bazgana. To Jenkins on the inbound. Ball's off the other side of the rim. Aguirre grabs the board, her 6th of the day. Jenkins still struggling. 4 of 16 from the floor.
Yeah, Stanford does a great job of recognizing Jenkins. She's at the top of the scouting report and not allow her to get untracked.
So she does get her 16th straight double-digit scoring game, but not quite the way that she wanted. It's kind of fouled on the runner.
Yeah, 4 for 17, 0 for 2 from behind the arc. She has not been able to get activated, but she's 4 for 4 from the free throw line.
Kind of misses the free throw and turns to the bench and says, "Hey, I didn't mean to do that." So out of the senior, the leaders of the squad, now has 12 points.
Yeah, both teams struggling from the free throw line, shooting under 70%. Ideally, you'd like to shoot at least 75% from the free throw line. Stanford is 67. Roadrunners is 62.
Jenkins puts it up and knocks it down. By far her best shot we've seen from her this afternoon.
I would agree. They go right back to 1-2-2 pester press to try to run some clock, get Stanford out of rhythm, and it results in a turnover.
Yep. Well, if you're going to try to get into this game, if you're UTSA, that's probably step 1. Trying to put the pressure on the Cardinal, force them to make turnovers, and make shots at the other end.
You're down 13, 5:22 remaining. They're going to need some stops and some scores, a couple of three-point shots as well to get back in this game.
Jenkins trying to shake Bazgana, finds Hammonds instead. Shot by Rowe inside the yard. Negron stretched, tried to grab the board, but got fouled by Heel.
Yeah, only 3rd team foul. They'll be taking it out from the baseline. I'll tell you what, if they're able to knock down a 3 here to get it to 10, it will get interesting the last 5 minutes.
Ogden comes off, Harrell back in. Bazgana gets fouled before she can really get going. So the foul called on Jenkins. And Stanford is up on top by 13. And it looks like they are going to stop a 2-game losing skid. They hold the lead over the Roadrunners. Basketball, and of course Gino Ariema retook that mantle overall in women's college basketball earlier this season. Great to see Tara Vanderveer and Kyle Smith in the building. Chloe Clardy, the dish out. Heel passes up a 3. Bazgana does not. It's off the side of the rim.
Nice offense coming out, starting the quarter.
Love finds a way through.
Love received a little brush screen and was able to go in and score uncontested. Again, the 1-2-2 little pester press. Again, that's the second time they get a turnover.
10-second violation.
Time ran out on the Cardinal.
Just changing the tempo. A different look. They went to it. This is the second time they went to it. They broke it out in the 4th quarter. Probably could have used it earlier, but they're down by 11.
Heel off, Dimitri in. She has 4 fouls. Also has 11 points. Leon Negron for 3. This is everything.
They ran a little Iverson cut across the top. Got Negron open for an open three, wide open.
Dimitri goes Ghana for three. Rattles out.
Road runner still hanging in there.
Yep. Love open for three from the corner and hits. Single digit game, 57-49. Timeout called by UTSA.
And again, what you do, Troy, in this situation, you want to get Stanford playing in 94 feet versus 47 feet. He was able to get out on a missed shot. 3-ball left corner pocket. Couple of possessions, they scored. They went to their 1-2-2 pester press. First time it was a turnover. Second time it was not able to beat the 10-second shot clock. So 2 for 2 since they've implemented that here late in the fourth quarter.
And I'd imagine that's got to be the way going forward here for UTSA.
You're down by 9 now, so you have opportunities. Again, you want to try to change the tempo, give Stanford a different look. I'm sure Stanford's going to break out now their press break in this situation here. But what it does, Troy, it forces Stanford to run some shot clock, and hopefully you get one shot to the rim. They run a little 1-4 across. Look for them to try to get the ball in the middle.
Cardinal get it across.
So 20 seconds on the shot clock. So they did their job. Get Stanford out of their offensive flow.
Clock is Stanford's friend. Scoreboard is Stanford's friend right now. Out to Dimitri. Time running low. Dimitri from the baseline. Can't get it to fall.
But so far, so good. Going to this defense. Not allowing Stanford to have a free run to the basket.
Lucio stops at the left elbow. Puts it up and knocks it down.
And that's her second shot in the same area. First time she came across a little screen action. Aguirre with the travel. So again, the 1-2-2 is causing problems for Stanford. They're speeding Stanford up.
The door opening wider and wider for Karen Aston and UTSA.
You're down by 6. So they found something with Lucio as well. 4 points, 7 minutes since she's come in the game.
Foul called on Harrell. This was a 15-point game with 5:49 to go. UTSA has been able to go meet and cut it to 6.
I'm Coach Aston. I'm telling my team now, let's get to the rim. Let's force the official to make the foul call. We can score from the free throw line, although they haven't been successful there, but that's a great opportunity to score while the clock is not moving.
Leon Negron. Home from behind by Dimitri. The shot short, but the putback by Rowe.
They're making this run with their best player on the bench as well. So now it's starting to get interesting. You see the confusion for Stanford.
Clardy gets the cross. Cross court to Aguirre. Now Clardy settles it down. It's an 11-0 run for UTSA.
But most importantly, the shot clock is going down for Stanford. Nice offensive rebound by Dimitri. Second chance opportunity.
Crucial offensive board as Kate Pay calls timeout. 2:03 to go here in the fourth quarter. That is a big time board by Brooke Dimitri.
And the timeout is equally as important because Coach Pay understands the importance of this offensive possession. What the road runners have been able to do is take Stanford out of their rhythm offensively. The 1-2-2 pester press, a couple of turnovers as well. 3, in fact, allows them to get back in the game. 11-1 run in the last 3 minutes and 31 seconds. And guess what? Their best player, Jenkins, is not in the game. So they're going to a different lineup. Although she has 14 points, 5 for 18. Lucio has done huge coming into the game. A couple of jumpers in her 8 minutes.
Stanford's been turning the ball over due to that pressure by UTSA.
And that's a great job of Coach Aston. She didn't show it early. She waited late.
2 minutes to go. 4-point game. 5 to shoot. Aguirre on the floor, drives and scores.
So they did it as bread and butter play. Allow Aguirre to go left or right.
Just 7 points for Nunu this afternoon, but those are 2 mighty big ones. Lucio guarded closely by Bozgana. Lucio puts up a 3 off the rim and a whistle.
As I mentioned earlier, Lucio, since coming into the game, been positive numbers.
That's the 5th personal foul on Dimitri.
So Dimitri fouls out.
Courtney Ogden coming in. So Dimitri with 11 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 blocks. All 3 of those blocks coming in the first half when UTSA was having big problems trying to negotiate the length underneath for the Cardinal. Roadrunners have missed 5 free throws. Make it 6. Now 8 of 14.
So as I mentioned earlier, sometimes the free throw line is your best defender, the 6th defender on the floor. So far as proved dividends for the Cardinal.
Jordan Jenkins and Alexis Parker.
59-54.
Jenkins back in the game, along with Alexis Parker.
So they put Jenkins at the top of this 1-2-2. Hope your length, try to get deflection in the backcourt. Easy layup. Good job of getting it to the center of the floor. Break the press.
Bozgana looking for Ogden underneath. It's not there. 10 to shoot. Ogden, bounce pass. Aguirre gets it back. 2 to shoot. Turnaround, front rim. But Harrell grabs the board and gets fouled.
And you can see Coach Aston stomping down the sidelines. She knew that was her opportunity, her team's opportunity there. They got what they wanted. Fouls on the floor. They'll have to take it out of bounds. That was huge to get that second chance, get that 50-50 ball. Defensively, they were solid. Just was not able to get the 50-50 ball for the defensive rebound.
Inside the final minute. A timeout called by Stanford. They have 2 left. UTSA has 1. Roadrunners woke up this morning ranked number 50 in the NCAA net rankings. Last week, they reached number 49, their highest ranking ever since the net rankings became a thing back in 2018. Of course, a 7-game win streak will kind of help do that to you. They came into this one having won 7 in a row. That streak obviously in jeopardy right now with Stanford holding on to a 5-point lead and trying to hold off UTSA down the stretch in this one.
Yeah, 2 teams moving in opposite directions. And Stanford lost their last 2. So at some point you knew that one of these streaks will be broken, whether it's going to be Stanford breaking their 2-game losing streak or the Roadrunners winning 8 in a row.
Well, and Kate Pay admitted that, there were some late game situations that she made some mistakes on against LSU that she'd love to have back. But more opportunities for her and the student athletes here in this situation. Pressure again. Five to shoot. Aguirre hemmed in. The desperation 3, not even close.
Shot clock expiration.
Rowe took a bit of a spill, and now she gets helped up by Jenkins and Parker.
It's a nice job by the Roadrunners not to foul. Able to get a shot clock violation. Now they have to go for the quick 3 here. Now Stanford, if they recognize this, would not allow the 3. Give up the 2, but not the 3 in this situation here.
The Leon Negron, who's about to get the ball, is UTSA's best 3-point shooter by far. Right side, Love drains it. And it's a 2-point game with 26 seconds left.
And this is where Stanford has to be poised, not turn the ball over.
Already trying to handle it. Hines got it at the other end. And a whistle and a foul call.
Yeah, Troy, Stanford is fortunate in that situation there. They have a backcourt violation again off this 1-2-2 Pester press. They're trapping in the 12 areas on the floor. You want to get your ball handler run to, and they was able to do that. So now free throws are important.
Stanford's best free throw shooter at the line. Although Bozgana is now 4 of 8 from the foul line. He came in 87%.
Shooting free throws late game is totally different than shooting it early in the game.
For various reasons, pressure, fatigue. Second free throw is good.
I'm UTSA, I'm calling a timeout to advance the ball. Now, this is one of these situations here, Troy. You don't need to go for the 3. You can go for a quick 2 and foul. Look to get a turnover in the backcourt on the first pass. If you shoot the 3 and miss it, the game is pretty much over.
This is the first time that Stanford and UTSA have ever met. It's been an intriguing one so far. The Roadrunners been trying to whittle this one down. They were down 15 with 5:49 to go. But suddenly, an 11-0 run put them within striking distance. They've been able to get a free throw and a big three-pointer by Sidney Love to get even closer. Right now, Stanford trying to hold off the Roadrunners, who have been charging the last 5 minutes.
Well, look at this game in terms of statistics. You can point to 2 quarters. The first quarter, UTSA 11 points. The third quarter, 10 points. The struggles have been in the first and third quarter. They've outscored Stanford in this quarter 22-13, 14-12 in the second quarter. They was not able to solve the first and third quarters, but guess what? They're down by 3 with an opportunity to tie it or go down by 1 and possibly get a steal. Try to send this game in overtime or win it at the buzzer. We'll see what Stanford does.
Roadrunners inbounding. Leon Negron. Clock hasn't started. The officials noted we started with 13.5 on the clock, and that sequence ended.
Last play is under review for a timing mistake.
So I'm sure Coach Pay now, they've seen the offense, how they want to run it. So if Ito gets the ball, I'm telling Aguirre, back off of her because she's not a threat to shoot the ball from behind the arc. Allow her to turn and face and try to plug up the middle. Make sure that you locate Negron. She's one of the better threes that they have, but Love is 2 for 4. Ross is 1 for 1. Overall, as a team, they haven't shot the ball well from behind the arc. Only 4 for 16, 25%. So you can live with the 3 in this situation here, but again, make sure you close out on their best three-point shooters. Give up the 2, not the 3.
Yep.
If I'm Coach Pay.
It's simple math, right? I mean, we hear on the campus of Stanford University, they like to do math here, I'm told. On this campus, just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
60-57.
But I tell you what, that clock malfunction, it favors Stanford.
Yes, 100%.
In this situation here, because now I see what you're going to run. How do I adjust? Again, if Ito catches it, I'm telling Aguirre, back off of her because she's looking to pass the basketball. If she knocks down the 3, we have
After further review, 2.6 is coming off the game clock.
So they'll take off 2.6 seconds and bring it down to 10.9.
The game clock is set to 10.9 seconds.
There you go. Shot clock obviously turned off for this one.
Now, if I'm Stanford and the Roadrunners score, I have a timeout remaining, I'm advancing the ball. That's the difference between the women's game and the men's game. You can advance the ball. So if they score, I'm calling timeout, and I'm advancing the basketball.
Udo, 5 seconds. Broken up. Janiyah Harrell, coast to coast, lays it in, and that's your ball game. Stanford survives a late flurry from UTSA, and they beat the Roadrunners. The final score, Stanford 62, UTSA 57. Cardinal had a 15-point lead, almost saw it get whittled away, but Stanford hangs in there. This one was fun. We hope you enjoyed it too. On behalf of our ACC Network expert crew, Troy Clarity and Joaquin Wallace, here from Maples Pavilion. Post-game interview coming up in just a moment. A frantic flurry by the Roadrunners, but Stanford able to hold off UTSA and get back in the win column. 62-57 the final here from Maples Pavilion. Great to have you with us. Troy Clarity, the Dr. Joaquin Wallace, and Elena Bozgana, the senior from Athens, Greece. I've got to do your complete and total stat line.
Okay.
13 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks. Not a bad day at the office for you today. What did it take?
I think I didn't start off hot. I focused on playing defense, getting these rebounds, and yeah, just like letting the game come to me more.
Now, talk about the physicality of the game. It was a very physical game. Both teams were playing defense. At the end, they used a little zone press kind of guys, got you guys kind of off kilter a little bit, but your double-double, talk about the physicality.
They were very aggressive, and that's something Coach Kate emphasized a lot on before the game started. They're a great team, and credit to them, but I think at the end we came up being more physical. Jay had this steal to end the game, so yeah.
Yeah, take us through. I mean, obviously up by 15, 5.5 minutes to go, but things got a little bit woolly there towards the end of it. What are some things that you think the squad might be able to take away from this one and apply going forward? Because you guys have Ohio State coming up this weekend.
Well, we stuck together, and that's something I'm really proud of. We were riding a wave during the game, but I think at the end it came down to being locked in, being together, and yeah, we won, so I'm glad.
It's a win. You will take it any way you can possibly get it. And this was certainly a lot of fun to watch. Big performances as well from Janiyah, on both ends of the floor.
Yeah.
Well, I got a question for you. So you was able to get a lot of back doors today because they was playing up the line. I love the way you guys run your offense. When they play up the line, the rule is to go back door in your Princeton-style offense. Talk about that.
We have great shooters on this team. Janiyah is a great shooter. Brooke is a great shooter. I think we get what they're giving us, and right now they are scouting us well. So we have these back doors and these drives to the basket.
Well, Stanford back in the win column, now 8-3 on the season. We'll try to keep it going when they head up to San Francisco to face Ohio State on Friday. Elena, thanks a bunch.
Thank you very much.
That's on the win.
Thank you.
That's Elena Bozgana joining us courtside here after Stanford gets the 62-57 win over UTSA. Entertaining one here, Doc. Maybe a bit more entertaining than we thought it might be, but Stanford in the win column once again.
Yeah, it was a rock fight. Stanford was able to throw the bigger rocks today. They was able to get the win. I mean, you talk about the three-point shot. I mean, they lived by it. Again, we talked about when they win, Stanford wins, they make 9 threes. They had 8 today. One off their eye when they win. But again, they made shots when it counted. Both teams shot under 40%, but Stanford with the win.
Stanford in the win column for the first time in 3 games. UTSA's 7-game win streak is snapped. Bit of a dramatic finish here from Maples Pavilion, but Stanford gets the 62-57 win. Thanks for being here with us. On behalf of everyone here at ACC Network Extra, stay safe, stay healthy, stay sane, and accomplish greatness. Cardinal beat the Roadrunners by 5.